Dark clouds gathered above the forest long before the first drop fell. The elders had already begun warning everyone to prepare. Storms were a known danger in nomad life. Every hollow needed enough food stored away to survive for days if the weather turned bad. Tim moved through the village, voice carrying over the growing wind. Storm's turning. Everyone inside the hollows. Nomads moved quickly. Baskets were secured. Storage covers were tied down. Children were guided toward shelter. Security guards checked the hollow entrances, making sure rainwater wouldn't leak inside. Tim scanned the village, counting faces. Something felt off. He counted again. Then it hit him. Where's Porky? Chip looked up. Tim's heart sank. Porky had gone earlier with his girlfriend Susie to gather nuts and berries from one of the storage bunkers. Chip groaned. They're still out there. Tim looked toward the far side of the village. They should have been back by now. The wind suddenly intensified. Leaves and debris whipped through the air. The first heavy drops began crashing through the canopy. Then the rain turned violent. In seconds, Tim felt something heavy settle in his chest. Christina stepped beside him. Her voice trembled. Tim, what if they got caught in the storm? Tim didn't answer, because he was thinking the same thing. Behind them, two nomads stood near Hollow 7's entrance. Susie's parents, both silent, both staring into the storm. Susie's mother's hand slowly curled into a fist. She took half a step forward, almost as if she might run into the storm herself. Her husband gently caught her arm. She stopped, barely. He stood rigid beside her. Neither said a word, but their fear said enough. Then the sky broke open. Rain slammed into the village. Water rushed between roots and pathways. Tim shouted, "Inside! Move!" Everyone rushed for shelter. Thunder shook the hollows. Wind screamed through the branches. Water surged faster than anyone expected. What began as normal runoff became something far worse. The center of the village began flooding. This happened during major storms. Everyone knew it. But this storm was different. Worse than anything they'd seen in years. Water kept rising. Higher, deeper. Soon a massive flood pool formed in the middle of the village, splitting the village in two. No nomad could safely cross that. One wrong step meant drowning. The storm raged for hours. No one could do anything. But wait. Meanwhile, in the Rootborn part of the forest, the morning had begun peacefully in Rootborn territory. Sunlight filtered through tangled roots above, casting shifting golden patterns across the training grounds. Young boys moved through survival drills under the watchful eyes of the elders. Some practiced spear throws at bark targets. Others fired arrows through hanging vine loops. Another group sprinted from exposed roots to cover shelters at the sharp whistle of an elder. "Again!" Enoch called. The boys reset. Run. Drop. Take cover. Recover. Their movement sharpened with every repetition. From the edge of the training grounds, Shelia watched. Her eyes followed every movement. The power, the balance, the discipline. She wanted in. She stepped closer. "Dad?" Enoch turned. Shelia hesitated only a second. "Can I train too?" A few boys glanced over. Enoch's expression barely softened. "No, Shelia." Her face fell. "Why not?" Enoch planted his spear into the root floor. "This training is for boys." The words were calm. Not cruel, but they still landed hard. Shelia frowned. "But I can do it." Enoch shook his head. "Boys are called to defend." He looked back toward the training field. Girls have their own responsibilities. To Enoch, he was protecting tradition. To Shelia, His words landed differently. All she heard was, "You're not built for important things." She turned and walked away before anyone could see the hurt in her eyes. This isn't the end of the story. It's only the beginning. Tune in for the next episode, A World of the Nomads. If you enjoyed this episode, like, subscribe, and share, and hit the comments. Tell me what you liked, what you didn't like, and what you want to see more of. Let's talk.